What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another review video. Big shout out goes out to Circooter for reaching out to me and asking me to review one of their flagship electric scooters. This is the Cruiser Pro model. And just from first impressions, I really dig the way this scooter looks. It has a very aggressive look to it, which I really like. In this review, I'm going to go over everything there is to know about this electric scooter. I'm going to talk about the specs. I'll do a speed test, a brake test. I'm going to ride around and talk about the riding experience. And we're going to take it on a little mini off-road trail that I have over here just to test its off-road capabilities. There will be chapters down below, so feel free to skip around to whatever part is of interest to you. But first, let's get started with the specs. So this is the Circooter Cruiser Pro off-road electric scooter. It features dual 1200 watt hub motors, one in the front and one in the rear for a combined 5,460 watt of peak power. That is crazy. This is coupled with an IPX4 rated 48 volts 20 amp hour battery. Circooter claims that this should give you a range of up to 52 miles depending on riding mode and riding conditions, of course. We have 11-inch off-road hollow tires coupled with hydraulic brakes front and rear with 140mm rotors. This scooter also has dual arm suspension with a spring in the front as well as in the rear for a smooth, comfortable ride. A very large and grippy deck area with a footrest. This scooter can fold, of course, using a very sturdy folding mechanism for easy transportation and storage. In the front of the scooter we have a dual LED headlight that's very bright, as well as front deck lights. And in the back of the scooter we have a tail light and an active brake light. We also have turn signals on the side. The total weight of the scooter is 86 pounds with the max load capacity of 330 pounds. And up on the handlebars we have our front brake and our trigger throttle. In the center we have a nice color display. And on the left side we have our rear brake, our on-off switch, mode selector switches, headlight switch, turn signal switches, and a horn. And that is pretty much it for the specs. Now, as far as the price, this current model goes for $1,099, which is all by its own a pretty good deal so far. Of course, we're going to test everything, but I will have a discount code for you guys along with a link in the description if you're interested in checking the scooter out. Now, before we do the speed test, a few things that stand out to me right off the bat is, one is this FDE color, which I hope comes across on the GoPro. It is a very nice color, which I personally really like. I like all kinds of military colors, OD Gree, FDE, that's right up my alley. So this being FDE just adds to the overall look, and it's big points in my book. The second thing is this scooter looks very well built, looks very rugged, and of course we're going to be testing all of that stuff. Before we do the speed test, I do want to show you the starting procedure, and it's pretty simple. We have an on-off button over here. We just hit that for a couple of seconds and the scooter will turn on. We're just gonna wait for the screen to do its thing, and the scooter turns on. I hope you guys can see the screen well. This scooter does have 3 speed modes. We have Eco, Standard, and Turbo, but it also has dual motor mode. So in single motor mode we have 3, and if we hit this M button we'll be in dual motor mode and another 3. So technically you have 6 different riding modes. I'm going to be testing mode 3 on dual motor mode. So I got my phone's GPS app open, the speed reset, throw that into my pocket, and let's see what kind of top speed we can get off this thing. Okay, so right off the bat it kind of yanks you back, nothing too crazy. You can hear that front wheel spinning, and the scooter is showing 38, which I'm pretty sure is the max speed. I'll just keep on going till the end of the street or road to give my GPS enough time to catch up. Okay, that seems good enough. Let's see what our GPS has to say. Okay, beautiful. So my GPS is showing 37 exactly. 37 miles an hour in dual motor mode, mode 3. That is pretty good considering the fact that the scooter is supposed to hit 38, so being off by 1 mile an hour is not the end of the world. Now, another thing I did not mention, oh yeah, there it goes, definitely has enough power, this thing. But yeah, one thing I did not mention is about me, the rider. I weigh about 160 pounds, so if you have a rider that's lighter than me, you might be able to actually hit that advertised 38. But anyways, that was our speed test. But now let's do our brake test. Now this scooter does have hydraulic brakes, which is very nice to see, and they're brand new, so they'll only get better in time. But with that being said, I'm gonna make my way up to about 20 miles an hour, hit the brake when I hit this piece of wood in 3, 2, go. Oh wow. Okay, so I hit the brakes as soon as I hit this piece of wood, and from that section to over here, we're talking less than 10 feet, which is really nice. Actually, really good performance. And again, as I mentioned, these are brand new, so they will only get better as soon as they bed themselves in. That is really nice. And that was our brake test. Alright, now let's talk about the scooter and the riding experience. As I mentioned in the intro, this thing feels very rugged. It looks rugged, and it definitely feels rugged. You are higher up than normal, which is very different. I feel really high on this scooter. Like, the ground clearance on this thing is pretty high, pretty tall, and you're standing really tall on it. As far as maneuverability, it is very nimble. Even though it has these wide tires, it is still very maneuverable, so I feel very confident on it. Now the cool thing about it is the adjustability, so being able to change the stem up and down to accommodate different rider heights, that is really nice. And especially if you're getting this for someone who's a teenager, they can definitely grow with the scooter, or the scooter can grow with them as they get taller. Or if you have multiple family members who are using this thing, you can accommodate different riders, and it's pretty easy to change, pretty secure as well. I really like that. As far as turning radius, it is a fairly large scooter, but it turns on a dime. Pretty good turning radius, and again, the power. Yeah, it's spinning the front tire. Nothing crazy, but it definitely has a lot of power. Now, what's amazing to me so far is just like the price point. So it's not gonna be the fastest scooter in the world, and I definitely reviewed faster scooters on the channel, but for the price, the power and the speed you're getting is really nice. As far as the suspension, it is very nice. It is plush yet stiff. I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna show you that right now. Alright, so check it out. This is what I mean by the suspension. It is very plush, but a bit stiff at the same time. Definitely nice suspension. Nicer than average, that's for sure. Now, when we're talking road riding and commuting, perfect suspension. How does it act off-road? We're about to test that shortly. Another thing I really like is just the tune on the throttle, or trigger, let's call it. Very nice, and a lot of options. So as I said earlier, we have 3 modes in a single motor mode and 3 modes in dual motor mode, giving you plenty of options for different types of speeds. Now, of course, if you're in single motor mode, mode 1, as I am right now, it is very chill initial takeoff, not the highest top speed, which means you're gonna get a lot of range from this thing. Now, of course, as with all electric scooters or bikes, if you're gonna be using dual motor mode, the highest mode, constantly on the throttle, you're definitely gonna get less range than advertised. But that goes with any product like that. Let's go back to dual motor mode. And yeah, you can instantly get that power if you do wish to have that. Now, it does come with an app as well, where you can lock the scooter, turn on cruise control, control some of the LED colors on the side panel. It was very difficult showing you that because it's very bright out, but it does have like an LED light show. That's another cool thing. And overall, it is a very comfortable scooter. So far, I like it. Now, let's do our off-road test and see what kind of performance we can get out of this thing. Oh yeah, so definitely a lot of power. So far, very comfortable. Now, this trail is misleading on camera. The GoPro never shows it. The GoPro kind of makes it look like a very smooth trail, but it isn't. It's bumpy, ups and downs. But so far, the scooter's handling it no problem. Some major just hit my helmet. And we have an uphill over here, which it can do it no problem. And we can fly on this trail. The scooter's handling this trail with ease. No match for the dual motors and these very wide tires. Handling it no problem. I do have one complaint though, which unfortunately it is what it is. You might be able to change that, but my only complaint so far is this trigger throttle situation. It's just a personal thing. It's not my favorite. But anyways, let's stop real quick and assess the situation. Kind of like to check things on the scooter, especially after that off-road section. And I'm looking at the lock-in mechanism, which feels solid. Yeah, solid. The lock-in mechanism for the stem feels solid. Tires are good. Everything is solid. Alright, so what do I think about the Circooter Cruiser Pro electric scooter? Let's do things I like, things I don't like. Is this thing good value for money or not? And we'll give it a rating. Let's start with things I like. There's plenty of things I like on the scooter. I like the build, I like the ruggedness, I like the look, I like the dual motors, I like the speed, I like the response of the throttle, I like the color display, I like the brakes, I like the folding mechanism. Everything is really nice on the scooter. Now let's do things I don't like, and I always try to find at least one thing just so I'm honest with you guys and with my reviews. In this particular case, there is only one thing I don't like about this electric scooter, and it's that trigger throttle. Now it's a personal preference and some people love it, so you know, if you do, good for you. It's just a personal thing. For me, I do not like it. Now it's not as annoying to me when I'm riding on the road or commuting, but as soon as you're doing a little bit of off-roading and you really have to kind of grab the handlebars, having my hand, again personal to me, at this position with the trigger starts hurting my hand a lot. And I rather have like a thumb throttle or a throttle where I can have more of my fingers kind of engage the brake if I need to, rather than concentrate on that trigger throttle, if that makes sense. But again, this is a personal thing for me. Nothing against the scooter, I just personally do not like that trigger situation. I think it hurts after a while. But that's pretty much it. That's the only thing I don't like about the scooter. Everything else is amazing. Now, what score am I giving the scooter? And when I do my scores, I'm looking at the overall package, my experience with the scooter, and definitely the price. When I look at everything combined, I'm gonna have to give this scooter an 8 out of 10, which is a really high score. Now, with all that being said, is this thing good value for money or not? Is it worth it? I believe that 100% it's an excellent value for money. I highly recommend the scooter. As I said earlier, dual motors, this amount of power, hydraulic brakes, everything you're getting, the build for $1,099, and that is without my discount, and it's still a very good value for money. So if you include my discount, which will be in the description by the way, this is an amazing value for money. Now, I'm pretty sure I was able to go over everything there is to know about this electric scooter, but in case I missed anything, please leave it in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer. This has been the Circooter Cruiser Pro electric scooter review. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.